The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Time to call a credit repair company to fix my credit.
Hold the phone, man. You can do it yourself with Credit Versio.
That's way too hard. Call the credit repair company. Most credit repair companies only work on 1 or 2 accounts at a time, making it slow and expensive. You won't figure that out for months. Ignore him. Credit Versio's brilliant software scans all 3 credit bureaus, finds the accounts that are hurting your score, and guides you through the entire process. Anyone can do it. Let's fast forward and see the results. Wow, I fixed my own credit and saved hundreds. You can do this. Visit creditversio.com.
When you're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics, there's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
One bite of 100% Angus beef ballpark frank, and you'll say, hello, summer. Oh yeah, it's ballpark season.
Let's get back to getting ticks instead of watching flicks. Before we can safely get out there, we need the facts on COVID-19 vaccines. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision for yourself and for your crew.
At Hampton Law, our primary goal is to provide non-traditional yet effective solutions and redefine the approach to client legal concerns. As your trusted legal advisor, we believe in sophisticated, personalized services that eliminate the confusion and complexity sometimes associated with legal matters. Our high standard for client care and concern, coupled with our extensive legal knowledge and skills, make Hampton Law a resource focused on the protection of the client's interest and overall goals. We value our clients and truly enjoy working with them. Visit thamptonlaw.com to conveniently schedule an appointment online. Tamika Hampton Esquire, 1631 Rock Springs Road, Suite 336, Apopka, Florida, 407-494-1471. thamptonlaw.com.
What's happening? Then today is the 25th of January, 2023. I had a special guest, but he had a death in the family, so it's going to kind of put me off kilter because I really wanted him to come in and talk about some of the things we had, but we're going to keep the show rolling. All right. So, y'all know how this is. This is Random Thoughts. So I usually start with a monologue. And I made a post just because I had a conversation with somebody. And the conversation kind of bothered me. So I just ended the conversation. And I made a post saying that, you know, when I hear people talking, guys especially, but it's the same with women, and they start referring to women as females, they kind of lose me, because unless they generically talk in biological terms and say male and female, I perceive, which is what my post said, I perceive it as a form of disrespect because you're lessening somebody. Now we can go to the dictionary as people did and go through semantics of all these definitions and what have you, which is really not what I'm into. Again, it's my perception. And so I made the comment, just not really thinking nothing about it. And boom, shit just blew up. Everybody got an opinion, which is cool. But men especially have an opinion on the effect or the result of using that word, and they want to diminish women by saying, oh, it's this, this, and this. And again, I hear you. Because yeah, sticks and stones, yada, yada, yada. But ladies, if you call a man a boy or something like that, they quickly jump out their socks. I'm a grown man. So why women can't be grown women or something along those same lines? I will say boys and girls, dudes and dudettes, ladies and gentlemen, stuff like that. But I don't ever reduce one to a subspecies when I'm talking, unless I'm at work. When I was a cop, yeah, we typically say a black female, a white male, because that's what we do. We break everything down into that because that's just what we do. That's what they do in hospitals. That's what they do when your job is to classify people in a specific manner. Nobody ever uses the term woman. Your birth certificate will say what it says. It will give you a sex. It will give you this. But as somebody said, it's really more of an adjective. And I don't get it. And that's all I said is that I feel like they throwing shade. And I'm amazed when people like to say what everybody else does. I'm always amazed by that. I can sit back and talk to a woman or a man, anybody. As soon as they tell me what all men do or all women do, the conversation again goes left. Because how can you speak? You can only speak for one person. I was talking to somebody and, we made the conversation about how they like big women. And the narrative is, oh yeah, all men love big women, women with their bones, whatever the crazy shit is they say. Based on what narrative? And I come to the conclusion that when we into foolishness and fuckery, we want to draft everybody into our circle so that we don't seem like we're so alone in our standards. Even though we all think for ourselves and we all do this, but we quick to say every man, every woman, most men, most women. I can't tell you what most men do. I can tell you how some of our conversations go. But this whole level of disrespect, and as we get into sticks and stones, I forgot how my topics are. Is sticks and stones my first topic? As we get into sticks and stones and we talk about what words can do, because we grew up learning sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. It's said so often. But is it true? Is it true? I can tell you in my career as a law enforcement officer, it's not true. I can tell you in my lifetime as a black man, it's not true. When somebody was approaching me about the subject and they made the statement, if somebody say something crazy about your wife, I know what you're going to do. What am I going to do? I know you're going to fight them. Why would I fight somebody for saying something crazy about my wife? Did they touch her? We've been on social media together and people have called her unattractive. Hell, they even call her ugly. Some dude called her a man. I ain't got nothing to do with his opinion. So why would I risk my freedom for his opinion? Why would I care about his? But when we're talking about people we having conversation with, queen, king, if I know that I use a term on her or any woman that they feel uncomfortable with, why would I say, I didn't mean no harm? Because I may not have mean no harm, but if they took offense to it, why am I still doing it? And it's crazy to me in this politically correct society, how politically correct we truly aren't. Because a man can say he feels like a woman And we're supposed to say that. But if a woman tells she want to be called a woman, we're going to tell her whatever. Oh, I meant this. Oh, I meant that. That to me is a little what's the word? Insane. How do we get to this stage where we don't respect each other or what makes us comfortable or uncomfortable in a reality sense? Trina likes to be called Trina. She doesn't like for random guys to call her queen. I'm not sure if she has a problem with beautiful. She probably dismisses it, but she doesn't like to be called queen. So I had a friend who insisted on calling her queen. Then she started calling him out his name. He got offended. He's like, why is she being disrespectful? I said, she's told you she don't like to be called queen. Well, I didn't mean no harm. True. But when you did it the third time after she told you that, clearly you meant to be offensive. She's told you that she doesn't like it. She's told you that, but you want to keep doing it. So I can't stop her from calling you out your name. And it doesn't make sense when somebody tells you something. I can call Trina sweetheart. I can call Trina dear. I can call her baby honey. She probably doesn't want that from any random dudes. As she said earlier, it's creepy. So if there's a boundary, why not respect the boundary if you respect the person that you're dealing with? So as we move into our subject matter, I just want you guys to understand that yes, words have power. And power is what we give them, either through action or inaction. But you can't just openly disrespect people and say that you mean well or that you have no ill will when they say they don't like it. I made the post, but I don't like being called king. I don't fit the description because we're so quick to want to group everybody into things. Every man is a king. Every woman is a queen. What's the standard? What's the standard? You know, I had one guy say, I'm not a boy, because I, asked him, as soon as you call one of us boy, oh, we over the top. I'm not a boy. I pulled up the definition. Boy says the male child, a male child, which, damn, all of us are because we came from a parent, so we were male children, or young boy, and informally, it means a young man. So how are we not boys? But we don't like that term. We will fight about that. Sticks and stones. Unless you say the right word. So as we move in and we know this concept, we're going to talk about some of these boundaries and some of the ways that we try to throw, what's the word, undercover shade, or how we try to diminish each other. But as me and my producer was talking about, we don't want that smoke, so we won't be outright disrespectful, so we can fall back and say, oh, it was just a word. We'll be low-key disrespectful. And that, to me, is the sticking point. It falls again under, oh, you're little this, you're little that. It's not disrespectful when somebody say, oh, I see you got your little something going up. Is it? I don't know. What do you think? I think it is. But that's my monologue. So maybe we'll have a couple of ladies and gentlemen on here and see what the new politically correct society says about some of the pronouns that we use to describe each other versus adjectives. All right, so we're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna come back with our first segment as soon as I reach out and figure out what it is, because I've probably been drinking and I forgot clearly. So that's what's up. We will be right back. Un momento por eso.
It's been difficult because I hadn't been able to see my grandchildren.
An expression on someone's face when you do something nice for them.
I miss all my friends in school.
Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccine.
I'm Attorney Clinton Paris, and Tampa's my community. I grew up here, went to school here, and my wife and I make our home here. What makes Tampa special are its people. So when I represent someone injured in my community, it's personal. Call my office and speak to a real lawyer and not some referral service. I will fight the insurance companies to get the settlement that you deserve. At the law office of Clinton Paris, we take the pain out of being heard.
HBCU League Pass. Watch your favorite black colleges. Some of the best players in the land. HBCU League Pass. It's game time. I'm proud and I love my HBCU. HBCU League Pass. Watch your favorite black colleges. Some of the best players in the land. HBCU League Pass. It's game time. I'm proud and I love my HBCU.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for mental health and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org.
We are making the virtual HBCU experience available wherever you live through Stillman Online. We offer online degrees in business, criminal justice, psychology, and religion. Stillman also offers technology badges in cybersecurity and data analytics. You can participate in all student activities, fraternities and sororities, internships, graduation ceremonies, and much more. Apply for admission today at stillman.edu. Stillman College, where we prepare you for a different world.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
All right, and we back. So first segment we talking about is love and marriage. And I'm gonna stick with this. Find out who's right for you. Stop letting everybody define what it is you should or should not do. Marriage, in my estimation, is still a business. It can be based on love, but there's still a business portion of it. But if that's not your thought process, and I'm okay with that, find somebody who has the same kind of thought process that you have, or that you're willing to adapt to as you guys learn each other. It just makes more sense. So the scenario that was given, ladies, we're going to talk about this, because we're going to talk about what makes sense, what doesn't, what should, what are the options, because nobody can tell you what you should or should not do, because everybody doesn't have the same parameters. All right. You are crazy in love with a simple guy that only makes $28,000 a year. Okay, that's a little over $2,000 a month. All right. He has asked you for your hand in marriage twice before, but your $5,000 a month alimony check will be cut off as soon as you say I do. $5,000 a month is $60,000 a year. Just help you with your quick math. He warns you that he will walk away if you don't marry him. Ladies, what do you do? Okay, so as we speak on this specific thing, and I saw a lot of different comments, especially from some men who, I get it, because you're not supposed to marry for money. Okay, it sounds good. I don't know who says that craziness, but it sounds good if that's your mentality. But money is how you live, survive, pay bills, yada, 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 yada. So I don't know why we keep trying to act as if money is not that important. But it is. So if we're talking love, if we're talking conditions, if we're talking rationale and good sense, you love a man who makes $28,000 a year. He wants you to give up $60,000 a year to be his spouse. Is it worth it to you to go into a marriage giving up 60 grand? Now, I know we do lots of things for love. I know we do lots of things for personal reasons. We'll quit a good paying job because we don't like it. We will do this for that. And I get all that. And this is where you have to know who you are. For me, it makes no sense to give up $60,000 a year when we can cohabitate, when we can live a blissful life and let that 60 grand do some things for us that my 28 ain't doing. And everybody says, well, he can make more money. You're right, he could. You know what the flip side of that is? He could not. But that $5 grand a month, that's alimony. So it's got a cutoff date. So why not ride that date out? When that's gone, then why not get married? If we're gonna deal with logic, leadership, and future building, because at some point when you want to get married, it should be about building things. So if you cut out 60 grand, unless you are strictly saving that whole 60 grand, that means you're gonna have to change your lifestyle. That means a lot of things that were going on will change. But what we got to look at more so in this scenario, ask yourself, why did she turn him down the first 2 times? Was it about the money? Was it about that she just didn't want to be married to him? And for him to put forth the ultimatum that if you don't say yes this time, he'll walk away. Is that a realistic ultimatum to be given somebody? To me, it would fall under red flag. As a matter of fact, to me, it would fall under full-fledged stop sign to ask somebody to give up that kind of money. And I know y'all rich people out there, because y'all love to say 60 grand ain't no money. You need 100,000 to do this, 100,000 to do that. But if you take the 60 grand that she's getting the alimony, his 28 grand, that puts you at 88,000. So whatever she makes puts you a little bit closer to 100,000, which is what y'all say y'all need for a couple to survive these days. I don't know what y'all spending y'all money on, but that's neither here nor there. So I'm confused on why it's so important that he should give her an ultimatum to give up money to marry him. It's almost like, I know y'all ain't gonna like this, but it's almost like the whole house thing. Why she got to give that up? That's just money in the bank. But like some of you women said, y'all want to start everything fresh. So you don't need to be getting your money from another man because, Men feel insecure about another man giving you more money than they can give you. Why does she have to give it up? Because he wants to marry her. She gets it as long as she's single. The minute you're married, alimony stops. So he wants to get married like now. And what's up, Jess? So to me, it makes no sense because there's just a lot of things that be going on with that. Because again, for me, alimony comes with a date. You know, I don't know too many people who get alimony for life. They may get this for 10 years, or they got all this time to pay off this much. However they do it, You don't get $1 million. He got 10 years to get it to you. So if he pay you off in 2, you pay it off in 2. But I just don't understand that. And again, why did you turn him down? Why did she turn him down the first 2 times? Therein lies the answer to the question. Was it because of the alimony? Was it because she didn't want to get married? Maybe she ain't there. You got the, what do you call it, engagement portion. Maybe they could just get engaged first. And I know, ladies, what do y'all say? Oh, when a man know what he want, he gonna go after it. So maybe he's in that mindset. Keep that money flowing. I'm not giving up no money to go back to struggling. You're not gonna struggle, Jesse. He making $28,000 a year. That's close to 60. I mean, he halfway there. If he work a little overtime and pick up a second job, he can make that money up. But without being facetious, I'm with you. I would never ask somebody to do that. To me, that's just, what's the purpose? But to me, you got to play the long game for all our financial ignorance. 60K is 60K. To give it up for love, you ain't unhappy. You ain't got to do nothing for this money other than not get married. That's it. That's a simple way to get $60,000 a year. But if he's insecure, what are you going to do? So if he's the man of your dreams, if he's Mr. Right, can cook, clean, and let Rose take a break, what you going to do, Jess? What you going to do? He got goals and aspirations where he going to get to this money. Well, you got a job too. So his 28 and your whatever, y'all can, y'all only got to make up, 32 more a year to get to that 60K. That's missing. So, like I said, to me, I don't understand the logistics of it. I don't understand why it's such a big deal. But maybe there's some underlying issues. But just going strictly with the scenario, if a man was getting it, I would say the same thing. Why get married? What's the hurry? And if we worried about life kicking in, if lifing, you can do a will, you can do trust, you can do things to ensure y'all compatibility and relationship. You can do that paperwork wise so that you don't be like a lot of these people who are married and don't get nothing because they didn't take the time to do a will or trust or any of those things. There are very few things that you cannot do if you want to be together but don't want to be married. It's for me, it's really not that big a deal. But most of the women aren't with it. And one guy was hilarious because he was like, "Yeah, you know what these hoes gonna do?" And I'm like, "Shit, if that's the case, I want a hoe." Because to me, she's financially sound. But I think women have taught us to believe. Hey, what's up, Gayla? Women have taught us to believe that you guys will do anything for love. And most guys want to believe that women don't mind struggle love. And if I'm being honest, I think a lot of women don't mind struggle love. But that's when they're in their 20s, they don't know no better. That's when love's a little bit purer and they ain't truly had to go through nothing. I don't think many women who are over the age of 35 are going for that. I don't think many women are willing to just give up $60,000 a year for love. And I know y'all all holler, it's just money. It's just money. And that's all well and cute till the lights get cut off. That's all well and cute till your transmission go off. That's all well and cute until something happens that requires money. Because even if the power go out and you need blankets, damn, blankets cost money. There are very few things that money can't fix. if we're being totally honest. You know, I remember one time, you know, for shits and giggles, I called Georgia Power and told them, you know, that somebody loved me. Can I use that on my bill? And the lady just started laughing at me. So I'm taking that as a hell no. And like I said, yeah, men ain't gonna do it. You know, when I did the post about getting that $5,000 for your birthday, y'all saw how the guys went crazy about that because you got a birthday present. That they got to get half of it. So now, Melody, Jess, are y'all cool with sharing half of your alimony with your new husband? I'm sorry, because you can't get alimony. But if he continues to play his role as boyfriend, fiance, husband in waiting, would you share this? Would you share part of your $5,000 a month with him? Would you? So now, instead of making $2,000 a year, I mean $2,000 a month, well, it would say $2,200. If you give him half of your $5K, that's $25. So right there, he just got a bump up to $4,700 a month. Would y'all give him half to keep him from walking away? Because I can't see how I can ask a woman who's making more than me to stay with me. Okay, just say no, Melody. Say, yep, it's our money now. But this does show why so many men fight to keep their stuff. The thought of another man building on his own dime. But if you use that mentality, if he requires you to give it up, whose dime y'all building on? And now you're struggling when you could have invested the $5,000 a month wisely. And I get what you're saying. Yeah, a lot of men. I don't get into the semantics. A lot of men who date seriously are financially stable, so there's things that they're able to do. But on the flip side, there are a lot of men who aren't financially stable, and they depend on you for everything. So I'm gonna get you to give up stuff while I ain't doing so good, and then we're gonna struggle together because I need you to be as broke as me. I think that more men have that mindset than the mindset of let me be protector, provider, yada yada yada. I would say based on my social media posts, more men want 50-50 relationships than women. So if we're following the scenario, Melody, if y'all gonna do 50-50, he's making $28K a year. What is the $5K a month? What does that 60 grand go to? Is that community property, or do you use your income from your job and y'all split bills? Because now that's money that you can't recoup. So there's a fine line and there needs to be a conversation had, and everybody need to know where they stand. Just that's just how I feel. But Jess said she ain't doing it. Melody said she willing to share, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the sharing. I don't know. I think she should be able to set her own self up and be more of a helpmate if for some reason we're struggling. Because I mean, I guess really with $60,000 a year, does she have to work? She may not want to work. And it doesn't say whether or not they have kids. So at the end of the day, it sounds like she might have been downgrading. What kind of relationship am I going to if I'm not sharing? I don't know. And see, that's where it's personal. What kind of relationship are you looking for? Some people want to build together. Some people don't. Some people want to share everything. Some people don't. Some people, we got these little boundaries or building blocks that we cross a little at a time. Just a little at a time. Cause when y'all love a man, y'all tell him about that stuff. That's not unusual. I guess my youngest child syndrome is coming up because I'm not sharing. It's all mine. So, Jess, if he had a settlement, does he have to share a settlement with you if he got a settlement from a court case or something? This is where the fairness comes in. Because how do you guys build together? Is everything going to be what's yours is yours, what's his is his? And whatever y'all get together is y'all's? Other than that, everything stays separate. And this is one of the conversations that you got to have so that you guys are aligned together. To me. No, he doesn't. All right, type more because I forgot the question. No, he doesn't want. He doesn't get to share yours, or does he get to keep his on his own, and everybody take care of their own self, and y'all just meet in the middle. Jess, are you looking for 50-50, or are you looking for a man who can provide most of the things? Okay, he wants to get married. Until you marry, it stays separate. So once y'all married, once you're married, it stops. So if you weren't working, you got to get a job. And if you were working, you just lose the $60,000 a year that you had in alimony. I can share, but he's not living off me. We can make business plan, but I ain't paying all the bills. Okay. And to me, that would be fair, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much it on that one. I just wanted to see where you guys are, because I see, like I say, I posted in a few places. I just want to see what the people say, because there's nothing like me thinking I know what all men or all women would do. It's just easier to post it and let them say. I mean, hell, one girl even said, "Run, bro. It's a reason she getting that check." I don't understand what there would be to run from, because a woman is getting alimony, but it came from a woman. All right, so what we're gonna do now, because I'm getting fussed at again. That's why we will be open and stabbing into all the alimony ends. And see, I'm cool with that. But before we get this break in, some women want to be married, some women don't. And I guess that's one of the things you got to have a conversation with. Some people are cool with being life partners, and others aren't. Sometimes men are more sensitive than they want to admit. We're more emotional than we want to admit. Sometimes men they want the whole bell and whistles of you being their wife, because it gives them more of a sense of security. I'm not sure why, because divorces happen, people can't leave. But, it's like when we do the show, not today, about the last name thing. There's some men who are anal about the last name. There are others who aren't. It just depends on where everybody is, and that's what you got to know when you're dating who you're dating. So I want to get ready to take another break before I get in trouble, because I don't know how I'm supposed to look at a clock. So I think we're going to take a break in like 5 seconds.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Brian, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Follow the Black College Sports Network and all of our shows on YouTube. You can find us at MyJBN Online and on all social media at MyBCSN1.
Maureen is saving big holiday shopping at Amazon, so now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. Food is her love language, and she really loves her grandson. Like, really loves.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food? Like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
Oh, we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant. Authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door. Tell your mama hungry.
Can I get the now bar, please? $1. Have a good one. Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
Got it.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Time to call a credit repair company to fix my credit. Hold the phone, man. You can do it yourself with Credit Versio. That's way too hard. Call the credit repair company. Most credit repair companies only work on 1 or 2 accounts at a time, making it slow and expensive. You won't figure that out for months. Ignore him. Credit Versio's brilliant software scans all 3 credit bureaus, finds the accounts that are hurting your score, and guides you through the entire process. Anyone can do it. Let's fast forward and see the results. Wow, I fixed my own credit and saved hundreds. You can do this. Visit creditversio.com.
You're
What's up? What's up? What's up? All right. The sticks and stone portion. It's gonna be a double portion. All right. So we talk about sticks and stones, and I did my intro about words. So for those of y'all who not sports fans, I don't know if y'all saw the whole Shannon Sharp thing at LA and Vancouver, where Shannon Sharp was doing all this thing and all these guys posting saying who don't want this smoke and who don't want that smoke. And this is one of those crazy things where we do realize that words hurt. So before I get to that, one of the people who commented on my post who was saying, we are responsible for what we do. And there was a time when everybody was talking about the talk you got to have with your kids about cops and this, but we never have a talk about their friends who double back on them, the girls who do this, the boys who do this, yada, yada, yada. We never had that conversation. So one of my friends, one of my social media friends wrote a post. He can't be here today because he had death in the family. So I'm going to read the post for it because when I saw it, it moved me because this is a conversation that parents need to have, especially with their boys, because for some unknown reason, men are not comfortable talking about emotions or teaching about them because we have yet to learn to deal with them. So that's why we are so emotionally volatile, which is why we can be pushed easily. All right. So this is the letter this is the conversation this man had with his son, and he just wrote it down. All right. I ain't gonna need to say it. So I'm just gonna start with the letter. Okay, yes, I am. Dear Bryce, I'm aware that being 14-year-old bites. It is a very difficult time of human existence. Please accept that I know this. I have been in your shoes before. This morning, you shared with me the reason why you almost got into a fight yesterday at school. I felt your frustration, trying to do the right thing while also trying to make sure that no one bullies you. I also heard you say, Dad, I'm not going to let anyone disrespect me. I'm going to step to them. Bryce, you need to understand that a response to disrespect should not always require a response that will escalate to a fight. Actually, in all honesty, I believe that a response to disrespect should be met with self-restraint. Yeah, sounds weak. Someone can disrespect me, and my response will be nothing that would include aggression and or violent behavior. I will not allow the masculine caveman inside of me to be regulated to the black man that is viewed by others as an untamed monkey. Nope, not gonna do it. Neither should you. You said that the guy at school bumped into you, and he did not say excuse me. You said, Dad, he looked at me like I was nothing, and that was disrespect. So I stepped to him. Son, those are your words, so I stepped to him. Think about that for a minute. You were the aggressor. Bryce, the only people that have this ultra resistance to being disrespected are black men / boys. Almost always, that resistance plays out against another black man. Yep, we appear to be the only men on earth who respond to each other brutally because of being disrespected. This, my son, is ridiculous. And look at what this ridiculousness causes. Murder of black men by black men, high school suspension rates because of fights between black boys, increased percentages of black men in prison. Think about it. Why be a victim of all that? Why? Why, Bryce? Over being bumped into. Really? Dead, prison, bad school records. All because you and all these other black men boys felt disrespected. I ask you to let go of this bravado. Stick your chest out. Resistance to disrespect. Please, son, I love you and I worry about you every single day. We black parents drop our black boys off at schools that are filled with violently negative energy. Because of this reality, we fear each day that we will get a call from the school administration that our son got suspended for fighting, injured while fighting, or worse, killed. Why? Because of this mantra. I ain't gonna let no nigga disrespect me. So shallow, so asinine, so dumb. Your mother and I should not have to worry about cops killing you or a black boy killing you. Yep. Black parents of boys have to stress over our black sons being gunned down by a police officer or our sons getting stumped to death by another black boy. Not fair. And double the preoccupation. Please, self-de-escalate. Restrain yourself. See that other brother as your brother. Seriously, envision him as Judah. Would you hurt your brother? See, in all the black boys, the dream that you both may share. Empathize with the pain that both of you may share. And please, feel the love that below layers and layers of generational trauma. It is a matter of life or death, Bryce. Do everything possible to make it home to your mother, to me. Sincerely, Dad. This is so deep in and of itself because this is something that every parent, unfortunately, should have a conversation with their child about. We are willing to lose everything because somebody disrespected us. Yet, words don't hurt. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words won't do this. Words hurt. Words will cause us to do things because we feel a certain way. This young man felt disrespected because somebody bumped into him and didn't say, excuse me. This young man was willing to fight and put it all on the line. Suspension. What if the boy has a knife or a gun? Now he gets shot or killed, all because somebody bumped into him and he felt disrespected. And the way we respond to disrespect is with violence. I asked the question and I will ask it again. Does anybody know somebody who learned to get respect from them because they got beat up? Is there anybody who can say that? When you ask ladies who've been in abusive relationships, do you respect the man because he beat you up? None of them say yes. None of them. When you ask boys who get beat up, now that you got beat up, son, do you respect that guy? Nobody says yes. Nobody says yes. So what is the purpose of fighting? You're not going to gain the respect from fighting. The person may learn to leave you alone, or the person may be better than you. The person may be more armed than you. What is the purpose? What is the purpose? My wife had a conversation with our daughter, telling her to, hey, watch what you say to some of these men because you don't ever know who's crazy. So don't always be flip at the lip because some of them can't handle it. They feel disrespected. You don't know what they'll do next. The girl who got killed at the University of Alabama. Why did she get killed? Because she didn't take the other man's advances. This is insane. He felt disrespected because he was trying to holler at a sister and she ignored him. So he killed her. This is what our need for respect turns us into. It turns us into cavemen. It turns us into savages. It turns us into inmates / convicts. It turns us into corpses. But yet, we say we fight for disrespect. We'll fight somebody for this. We'll do this for that because of disrespect. Say it again. How much sense does that make? But this is what we do. All the while telling our black boys, oh yeah, don't let nobody disrespect you because of this, because of this, because of this. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. But yet we preach this narrative again and again and again. Parents, you have to have this conversation. Aunts, uncles, you have to have this conversation. It needs to be reinforced ad nauseum. Because we need to make sure that violence is not our first response to everything and anything. A male cousin shot his female cousin because she called him a bitch. Hey man, you gotta watch what you say. Why? Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. We all learn that. So what level of disrespect is it that's gonna cause you to give up your freedom? When the guy said, oh, if somebody call your wife bitch, what you gonna do? I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm gonna laugh. If I'm honest, guess what? I've called a bitch a couple of times because she was being bitch and she said the same thing about me. So no, I'm not going to jail for it. Oh, he stepped on my shoe and he didn't say excuse me. So he ain't got no manners. I can't do the unstep. All I can do is knock the dust off my shoe and keep moving. Am I willing to go to jail because somebody stepped on my shoes? What am I proving? And let me just ask you the realest question. If a man truly, intentionally disrespected you and you do something that caused you to get incarcerated, who's going to take care of your family now that you're in jail? Who's going to take care of your woman that he disrespected now that you're in jail? Oh, I'm going to kill him. She ain't got to worry about nothing. Mel, Jess, because y'all here right now, if we're being honest, if a man kills somebody because he disrespected you, called you fat, called you ugly, called you a stinking bitch, whatever, how long are you going to wait for him to get out of prison? How long are you going to be faithful to him while he's serving out that 20-year bid? I mean, realistically, how long are you willing to wait for him? Are you willing to put your life on hold for 20 years because he defended your honor? When y'all could have just put your feet to work and kept on walking. This to me is insane and asinine. And I hear so many of us saying it. That is a post-traumatic slave disorder where we feel the need to fight for anything because somebody feels a way about us. Mel, Jess, have y'all ran across men who didn't think y'all were attractive? Did it hurt your feelings? Did it stop your bills from getting paid? Did it make your transmission fall out? What's the big issue with somebody verbally disrespecting you? They ain't hurt you. Oh yeah, the guy bumped into him. But you balled your fist up and you was ready to fight him. You stepped to him. Bryce, you stepped to him. Because he looked at you and didn't say, my bad. When I worked at clubs, one of the first guys I locked up, hit a guy over the head with a champagne bottle because he wasted some drink on his jacket. It's a crowded club, everybody's bumping, but he thought the guy did it on purpose. Never mind, the guy said, my bad, let me buy you a drink. Let me give you $10 to get it clean. No, nigga, why you disrespect? You throwed your drink on me. Wow, really? Really? So now you go to jail because a drink is on your jacket. You know, maybe you shouldn't go to clubs. Or maybe you shouldn't wear jackets to clubs. Or maybe you should stay away from crowded clubs. Is there anybody who been to a club and ain't been bumped into by somebody? And everybody gonna keep saying excuse me the whole way through. You bump into a bunch of people from here to there. It's just part of the club atmosphere. Part of life is people are gonna bump into you. Some will say excuse me, some won't. Some will think you bumped into them. So while y'all having a Mexican standoff to see who bumped into who, your balls is growing. Oh, somebody gonna say nothing? You ain't bump into me? No, Chief, you bumped into me. Oh, what you trying to say? I don't give a F. I'll go to jail for mine. It seems like we love saying that. I'll go to jail for mine. For what? What you going to jail for again? Because somebody disrespected you by bumping into you? They didn't run over to you and just hit you. They bumped into you. It ain't that they could have been distracted, because ain't nobody never bumped into nothing. It's simply because they didn't feel guilt and say, my bad, or excuse me. Couldn't be that they had something else on their mind. It couldn't have been nothing. It's got to be disrespect, and for that, you're willing to die. For that, you're willing to risk going to jail. For that, you're willing to be expelled from school. For that, you're willing to shoot or accost another family member. And what do you gain by this? Everybody learns to be intimidated or scared of you. There's no respect in that. Then you wonder why you don't get to go places. Oh, I'm going to go anyway. No, nobody wants you there. Not because they fear you, because they know you a shit starter for the wrongest of reasons. Ladies and gentlemen, have these conversations with your kids. Have these conversations with your nieces and nephews, especially your nephews. And yes, in the 21st century, women are getting a little bit more violent. Have the conversation with them. This is something that we cannot avoid. We cannot keep hoping things away. We cannot keep putting so much emphasis on being disrespectful from simple things that we are willing to give it all away. And then we turn around and look in the mirror and say something simple as, see, that's what the white man got us doing. What? What? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. This is something you want to do. Yes, a lot of us have violent by nature. A lot of us have the potential to do it. But at some point, you need self-restraint more than you need to worry about your pride. Remember, I ain't religious, but that seven deadly sin thing, pride is one of them. Pride is one of them. How is somebody bumping into you? Disrespectful, intentional, and willful. Even if it was, what does fighting them do? What does stabbing them do? What happens if you lose the fight? Now you've been disrespected and you got your ass beat. Now what? Now what you gonna do? Bad boy, when they come for you, what you gonna do? You stuck like Chuck. Selling wolf tickets, getting upset, wanting to fight. And here we are. We're in jail again. This simple mentality shows us how we don't know how to deal with our emotions. It shows me how emotional we are, and we don't understand it. We'll call it a bunch of other things. I feel the need to protect myself. I feel the need to defend my space. I feel this, I feel that, yada, 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 yada. We're going to call it all bullshit. You're emotional and you don't know how to handle it because you weren't taught how to handle it. Because I'm going to say that for something, say that for another show before I get in trouble. Wow. Man, I wish I had the guys on this show so they could tell me what this fight is for. I wish I had them so they could explain to me why going to prison is worth it. I see Jess and Melody didn't answer the question because they don't want to put you guys on blast. When you go to prison for 20 years, I'm willing to bet you dimes and dollars. They're not waiting 20 years for you, player. They only gonna put so much money on your books before they become ghosts. And even when you get out in 20 years, they got that same love for you. You a whole different person. Whole different person. But she a bitch because you defend her honor, she ain't wait on you. But I guarantee you, if women did the same thing, if they fought every time somebody said something about us, we wouldn't wait for them either. I'm willing to bet. You put up a dime, I'll put up $1, and I'm going to still come out ahead. Because it's what we do. We think irrationally. Irrational thinking is emotional. But we don't want to accept that. This is why we always want to say women are more emotional than men. We know that women are emotional. We're way more emotional, and we won't accept it. So therefore, we cannot fix the problem because we won't accept that the problem is within us. Before I leave this subject, I want you to look it up for yourself. Don't trust the old man. Men are made up of 23 chromosomes from their mother, feminine, 23 chromosomes from their father. But their mother and father are made up of male and female chromosomes. Men cannot escape estrogen. Women cannot escape testosterone. We are inherently the same beast on the inside. The difference is women accept it better. Men, if you look it up, don't trust a brother. You have estrogen in your body, and it's in the two main organs that you value most. It's in your head, in your brain, and it's in your balls. Go figure. Because we decide the sex, but there's estrogen in our testes that helps all that process happen. It's not testosterone driven. It's estrogen driven. But, that's just a few of the facts. So, let's 7 o'clock. We're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna come back and talk about Shannon Sharpe and how sticks and stones almost made this man lose his career and get fined because he got into himself. So we'll be right back.
Looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics, there's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
One bite of 100% Angus beef ballpark frank, and you'll say, hello, summer. Oh yeah, it's ballpark season.
Let's get back to getting ticks instead of watching flicks. Before we can safely get out there, we need the facts on COVID-19 vaccines. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision for yourself and for your crew.
At Hampton Law, our primary goal is to provide non-traditional yet effective solutions and redefine the approach to client legal concerns. As your trusted legal advisor, we believe in sophisticated, personalized services that eliminate the confusion and complexity sometimes associated with legal matters. Our high standard for client care and concern, coupled with our extensive legal knowledge and skills, make Hampton Law a resource focused on the protection of the client's interest and overall goals. We value our clients and truly enjoy working with them. Visit thamptonlaw.com to conveniently schedule an appointment online. Tamika Hampton, Esquire, 1631 Rock Springs Road, Suite 336, Apopka, Florida, 407-494-1471. thamptonlaw.com.
It's been difficult because I hadn't been able to see my grandchildren.
An expression on someone's face when you do something nice for them.
I miss all my friends in school.
Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccine.
I'm attorney Clinton Paris, and Tampa's my community. I grew up here, went to school here, and my wife and I make our home here. What makes Tampa special are its people. So when I represent someone injured in my community, it's personal. Call my office and speak to a real lawyer and not some referral service. I will fight the insurance companies to get the settlement that you deserve. At the law office of Clinton Paris, we take the pain out of being heard.
HBCU, league pass. Watch your favorite black colleges. Some of the best players in the land. HBCU, league pass. It's game time, I'm proud and I love my HBCU. HBCU, league pass. Watch your favorite black colleges. Some of the best players in the land. HBCU, league pass. It's game time, I'm proud and I love my HBCU.
What's up? What's up? What's up? And we are back. Uh-oh. I don't know how that happened. Let me cut my sound off before I get in trouble. Because somebody will fuss at me. I don't like getting fussed at. But I got me another producer. She on point. And she a little taskmaster. So I have to make sure I do what she say to do. So for those of y'all who missed the Shannon Sharp event this past weekend, I'm going to give you a quick breakdown. Shannon Sharp went to a basketball game. Shannon Sharp engaged with one of the players saying, you know, just making little snappy comments about what the dude can't do, yada, 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 yada. The dude said something back to Shannon Sharp that he didn't like. So Shannon Sharp got mad. This happened early in the first half. Then Shannon Sharp got escorted out because he crossed the line. Well, he talked his way back in. Third quarter, fourth quarter, one of them, all over again. Shannon get out his seat and steps on the parquet, not the court floor, because some of y'all want to be semantically challenged. He step up again. And everybody talking about, oh, they don't want that smoke. They don't want that smoke. Oh, well, Shannon was defending himself. The man told Shannon to F himself. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you won't get in the war words with somebody, you can't tell them what words they can use. Once you start talking trash to somebody, you can't tell them they got to keep it Christian or PG. You can't do that. So Shannon was talking to this dude, and the dude doing what he do. The dude is at work. He playing basketball. So he just shouting and playing, a.k.a. Reggie Miller and Spike Lee. And y'all old heads who see how that little thing went on. It's what they do. Shannon got mad because the dude said F you. Shannon felt disrespected, but he didn't think at the time that he was disrespecting the man by talking trash at his job, talking trash in front of his friends and family. This is the insane part about people who want to talk trash, and as soon as you clap back, they want to cry they're a victim. Oh, well, I didn't say nothing disrespectful. But dude, you didn't say nothing complimentary, so there's complimentary, there's disrespectful. It's simple as that. But I'm looking at us, and I'm thinking about the letter that I just read. I'm looking at all the guys who were defending Shannon Sharp by going on the court wanting to fight. Oh, you don't want this smoke? Shannon would have did this. Because we are so pre-programmed to fight each other. We are so pre-programmed to attack each other over simple shit. We are so pre-programmed to be disrespectful to each other over simple shit. I made one simple comment. When Skip Bayless, his white co-host, said something disrespectful to Shannon, Shannon got upset. Shannon took his glasses off. Skip said, sit down and put your glasses back on. Now, you figure out how it sounds. You can look up the clip. But Shannon didn't say a word to a man that was disrespectful in his face, sitting across the table from him. Again, I'm not promoting violence, but I am promoting standing up for yourself. I ain't gonna promote violence. It's stupid to me to go to jail for something anybody says to you. But you should check them. If you don't check them, you allow them. You make them perceive that it is okay to be disrespectful. I will say this for women, especially Miller, because I know she is still here. She should let no man call her the B word, but it don't require a physical response. She can let them know how she feel about it. Then she can cut off conversation with this person if it's somebody who wants to be in her circle. But they don't need her ran up at them thinking she gonna beat them or nothing else. It ain't worth going to jail for. So anyway, Shannon did all this, and I'm watching all these people. I'm watching all these people try to defend him because they want to see a fight. Now, Shannon, to his credit, Shannon gave an apology. And we're going to play a clip, but this is the way an apology should go. Shannon took full accountability and responsibility for his actions. He didn't blame it on nothing. The most important part of this clip is the first 20 seconds and the last 40 seconds. So we're going to listen to this clip, but this is how an apology should go. So roll the clip, super producer.
Became the youngest judge in the state of Pennsylvania when he got to the bench. How about that? You know how old he was? He was 27. 27 years old.
Technical delay. We're gonna go back to it and find the right clip because that is not it. That is not it. That's the last clip. Woo. But yeah, let me see. Then I sent it to you, didn't I? Let me make sure I sent it. I'm pretty sure I did. Because you played it. Yeah, you played it. So I know you said we played it in the green room. You see it, or do I need to resend it to you? I'm talking about my producer now, y'all. Yeah, but I want y'all to notice how he did this. And pay attention, because this is important. This is important. Let me know when you're ready, boss lady. Oh, like I'm froze now. Want to take a break? I need to know what's going on. Oh, there I am. All right, we're going to take a quick break and get this video thing situated. All right, be right back.
This is Brian Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for mental health and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org.
We are making the virtual HBCU experience available wherever you live through Stillman Online. We offer online degrees in business, criminal justice, psychology, and religion. Stillman also offers technology badges in cybersecurity and data analytics. You can participate in all student activities, fraternities and sororities, internships, graduation ceremonies, and much more. Apply for admission today at stillman.edu. Stillman College, where we prepare you for a different world.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
Oh, dang. All right, we back. We got it straight. had a little technical difficulty. So, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes the host don't do the right thing. So, got my producer looking like she ain't ready, but it's the host's fault this time. So, like I say, pay attention to the first 20 seconds, pay attention to the last 40 seconds. This is the most important part about when you're going to apologize. Apologize honestly and earnestly without deflecting or blaming anything else other than yourself. All right, let's roll it, boss.
Interesting events unfolding at the Lakers game Friday. Shannon, I want to turn the floor over to you. I know there's something you want to say.
Yes, thanks, Jen. As you probably have heard or have seen Friday night at the Lakers game, I want to apologize for my behavior. Guys, I've preached for the last 6.5 years, responsibility and accountability. And I take full responsibility for what transpired.
It does not matter what Dylan Brooks said or how many times he said it. Me being the responsible person, me having the platform that I have and having so many people look up to me, I was wrong. I should have lowered the temperature in the arena. Instead, I turned the temperature up and I let it get out of hand. And I want to apologize to a few people. First of all, I want to apologize to the Lakers organization, Jeannie Buss, the Buss family. I apologize for any harm or unwanted attention that I brought to your organization. I want to apologize to the fans that were in attendance and the fans that watched on television, because that's not what you paid for and that's not what you tuned in to watch. Shannon Sharpe should have been mentioned as someone that was at the game, not someone that let his emotions run high and get out of hand during the game. I want to apologize to the Memphis Grizzlies. Organization and fans, I am sorry. More specifically, I want to apologize to Dylan Brooks. He is a fierce competitor, and seeing him up close, I get a sense of why he is what he is and how he's wired the way he's wired. Bruh, I apologize. I wish you the best of luck the rest of the season and continued success. Ja, it was a privilege and an honor to watch you up close and personal. Skip and I talk about you a lot of times, but to see what you do, you're able to elevate, lead the floor, contort your body, and finish at the rim is unbelievable and extremely impressive. And I want to apologize to you. I also want to apologize to my stylist, Hollywood. Bro, you had an impeccable record before you took me on as a client. And I want to apologize for my behavior because you were in attendance. And if I caused any smudge on your resume, I'm deeply sorry for that. I also want to apologize to LeBron James because y'all know how I feel about him. And he supported me through thick and thin. And bro, I'm sorry that I put you in this situation, that you had to support me in something like this. So I want to apologize to you. I want to apologize to my family. I want to apologize to my brother, my sister, my mom, my kids, and my grandson. Because one day you're going to be old enough and you're going to see what transpired in that arena. But I also hope you get an opportunity to see this apology that I'm giving, because I was wrong. And I'm never going to be too big to say I'm sorry. I'm never going to be too big to say that I was wrong. And in that situation, I was absolutely wrong. And last but not least, I want to apologize to you, Turbo. You've been great to me. I appreciate everything that you've done over the last 8-9 months. I want to say I'm sorry. Again, to my Fox family, FS1, guys, I'm sorry for any unwanted attention that I brought your way. And I hate that you have to answer. No one should have to trend because of something that I did. So I want to apologize to anybody at Fox or FS1 that's had to answer questions on my behalf. What happened to Shannon? Why was Shannon doing this? I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not perfect. I am not. And I'm never going to say that wasn't Shannon Sharpe, because that was me. That was just me getting out of character. And I'm sorry for all those that saw my action and took offense to my actions. I am sorry.
All right. Now, did y'all see that last part? Well, I'm not going to say that wasn't me, because it was me. It was me getting out of character. I get so agitated when I see people, oh, that wasn't who I am. It is who you are. You got out of character. Character is somebody that we struggle to control. That's why sometimes we lose control of it, because we're trying to maintain an image. When you do shit, it is you. It ain't the alcohol. It ain't the weed. It ain't the rain. It is who you are. But we struggle a lot of times to not let our inner being come out. Some of us struggle. You know, I have told you guys that I suffer from depression. I try not to let that come out in what I do. It is a struggle to stay in character sometimes, but sometimes that he gets out. It's still me. It's still me. And even though I suffer from depression and have been diagnosed, I don't blame it on the depression. Depression doesn't make me anybody that I am not. Alcohol doesn't make you what you are not. Weed does not make you what you are not. You can't smoke weed, drink alcohol, use crack, and become a fucking football player. That's not how it works. Shannon said, it was me. I was out of character. He took full accountability and responsibility. It shouldn't have been about me. No, I should not be trending. I was at a game. He was at that man's job, and everybody was defending him. Who can come to your house and start telling you, man, your food nasty, your wife can't cook, your girl can't cook, yada, yada, yada. Oh, he a sports commentator. He get paid to talk about the game. You're right. He wasn't talking about the game. He was there as a fan. He abused his authority. But I'm proud. It makes me proud to see a black man step up and they take accountability and responsibility for what he did. The shame and embarrassment that he brought to people who ain't sitting around pushing narratives that we should be violent against each other over words. Over words. When he started the verbal war. People say, oh yeah, they soft, they this, they that. They always talking trash. When? Watch the video. You didn't see the basketball players going to the stands. You saw the stands come to the basketball players over words. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Some of us don't quit our job because we can't afford to. We don't like things our boss say to us, but you ain't gonna say nothing back because your rent need to be paid. Sticks and stones will break my words, but sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Unless a black man saying, now I gotta fight him, because that's what we do. He didn't fight Skip. Look up Jenny Tapp's response to Skip when Skip got out of pocket with her. She checked him right there. That's all I was saying. It's ways to check people and be consistent. Don't check me and not check white people. Don't check Melody, but don't check a man for saying the same thing. Sticks and stones may break my bones. Me and Trina did a show a couple of weeks ago, and I made the statement, DVP made the statement that men are more emotional than women. I made the statement. Trina said something along the lines, and there was this guy on the show. He decided to go all in on Trina. Trina didn't even say what I said. He made a statement about a woman doing something emotional. Trina said, so what? Because nobody disagrees that women are emotional. But his whole argument with Trina is that men are not more emotional. But not one time did he address me when I was the one who said it. With my camera on, with my microphone on. I said it and stood by it. And I told him, you just proved my point. You argued with a woman for 7, 8, 9 minutes who didn't even say shit. She actually agreed with you. She didn't take no side. She just said men are emotional. Because they are. We're half woman. We got women tendencies in us. But he didn't have a word to say to me. But he had something to say to her. It made no sense to me. And when I called him on it, because he called Trina out her name, he apologized almost immediately. He ain't been drinking. But it just said who he was. Drinking or not. You heard what I said. You read what she wrote. Why? What brought out the vitriol on her? Because of what I said. And he made a statement, I didn't know that was your wife, which had nothing to do with nothing. Trina does not speak as my wife on this show. She speaks as DVP does not speak as her husband on this show unless we're talking about something familial. Don't apologize to me because you disrespected Trina. You don't have to censor your comments or whatever because she's my wife. If it's your truth, speak your truth. Own your truth. I don't have to like it. I don't even have to agree with it. Like you guys don't have to like or agree with anything that I say. It does not change the narrative. At all. At all. But we want respect, but we're not finna fight for it. That's not gonna happen. At all. And we watching, and you know, it's funny Now, Trina said, you know, she saw me getting ready to get into his ass about being disrespectful. And Trina can vouch for this. Trina can vouch for this firsthand. It ain't even about her. When I see men being disrespectful to women, I jump in. I ain't be like, oh, I don't know what's going on. It don't matter. Especially when it's something I said and guys act like they don't see my comments because they want to argue with a woman. You ain't gotta be my woman. My women are black women, so by default, she is my woman. Because in my world, sticks and stones, we're gonna defend women. We're gonna defend women. You will not be disrespectful to them. Say what you want to say. Sometimes you have to be petty. Sometimes you have to be overly factual, and maybe you might even hurt their feelings. There's no need to be disrespectful. Start calling people out their name. I've invited many a person on this show that we have debated like intelligent, grown-ass people. Did not agree, will not agree. But it was still educational, and I learned something. I don't agree with their concept, but it gave me another way to think. Because everybody tries to say what we do, I can't say what we do. I can say without a second thought what I do. Without a second thought. I know what DVP does. I don't know what everybody else is going to do. I don't know what another man is going to do. I can't sit back and say, all men will do this. All men will do that. What's up, Seven? Seven is going to come on the show. We're going to plan something I disagree with, that men as a whole are more emotional than women. I will, however, say that immature men are emotionally fragile. Who do you think that stems from, though? Strong male leaders in their lives or weak feminine leadership? I think it stems from an absence of strong male leaders because, Seven, and this is going to be one of our topics, because we claim one something. We claim one something because if we're strong male leaders, whether we stay with the child's mother or not, we will stay in our child's life. We ain't going to leave, especially if we think her leadership is weak. That is on us. If you believe, Seventh, welcome to the show, by the way. If you believe that the woman that you chose to have a child with or that you impregnated is not a good leader, provider, or mother, it is incumbent upon you, me, any man who is in that situation to stay in our child's life. There is no she won't let me. That's an emotional answer because the courts will demand visitation. It will demand visitation. So, do you want to take the time to get that court order? No, because Seven, in my opinion, we are so afraid of responsibility and accountability, we don't want to deal with the court system because now we're held accountable. One of the guys I was talking to, he wanted to give me all these scenarios where mothers wouldn't let the father see their kids. I did a whole show on how you can get rid of that whole issue. It's as simple as going to court. Now, if a man chooses not to go to court, then in my mind, Seven, he no longer possesses the title of strong male leader because he left his seed behind unprotected in what he thought was a sketchy situation. I don't believe so much in weak feminine leadership. What happens with us, in my opinion, again, in the sticks and stones theory of this, is that we don't teach our boys how to deal with their emotions. Women do, and when they do, we're upset with them because we want them to teach our boys to fight. Fighting cannot keep being the answer. I spent 22 years as a cop, so I don't know if you know that about me. Most of the guys, I would say most of the guys, over 50%, over 60%, were in jail on some dumb, immature, emotionally fragile shit because dudes will say, oh, you got to stand up. You got to defend yourself. Don't let nobody disrespect you. Don't do this. Don't do that. We're quick to blame women for that. But, Seven, if we're honest, when we watch sporting events with alpha males, do we think that most of them came from single parent homes? Do we think that most of them came from single mothers? So who's raising the bulk of these alpha males? It's a woman. We can't do the double-edged sword to try to make us look better or push them down. This is a two-way street. As one of your posts said, we need each other. We need each other. I need you, Seven, to help get young men, young boys up to speed. I need for the men that want to be strong male leaders to not limit it to their seed, but to limit it to their community. Because there is a need for this. Women have been asking this. They have been asking. We haven't been stepping up. We have to step up. If we know the issue, once you know that your car's running low on gas, Seven, what do? Do you pray about it, or do you go to the gas station? This is something that we have to do a better job of. We are the ones who are demanding submission. We're the ones who are demanding that women shut up and follow us. But then when it's time to be accountable and responsible, we fall back. We can't keep blaming them for our inability to step up, because most of these guys think that they're strong male leaders. Most of these guys will tell you crazy shit. And then when you ask them simple questions, they start deflecting and redirecting. One of the things, if you look back at the post where we were going back and forth, when I asked the women how they felt about the word, you'll see one of the guys laughed at it. See, he shows simply that he does not care who he offends, as long as he's comfortable, but he wants to be respected. So where does he fall on the paradigm thing? Because he will tell you he's a strong black male, but how can you consider yourself strong when you don't mind being disrespectful to others? That makes little sense to me. And that's why even when we first started, my post said how I feel. I can't make it be a fact for nobody else. But when I see you doing that, I'm gonna let you know. When I thought you were doing something, I let you know. Because to me, if I don't tell you what my problem is with you, you'll never know. And if we just go on talking like everything is cool, I'm building up subliminal hostilities because I never told you anything. And you're like, well, you ain't never say nothing to me, because we are shitty communicators. Because communication, healthy, open, honest communication requires some emotional releasing, because you got to be able to say certain things. I'm in a group where of men where at the end of our sessions we have to say something good about another man. Go up to their face, say something good, because that's not what men are used to. We're not used to telling the brother how special he is, how great he is at something, how much we respect him, how much this. And unfortunately, a lot of times we aren't good at taking compliments. This is something that we have to do better at. What did I tell you, Seven? That, yeah, I watch your page. I watch what you do. I look at it. Some of the things you say I totally agree with. Some, I don't know. But it's how you feel. I can't argue with your feelings. The biggest argument I had with you was when you said what men will do. Seven can speak for Seven. DVP can speak for DVP. Until I do posts like I did, I can't say what nobody else will do because I don't know. And I don't want to sit back and, if I'm going down the wrong path, justify my behavior by saying other men do it. Lots of men do it. Lots of men do it. And you're right. We keep saying it's not my problem. It's not my problem mentality. Or my favorite one is we like to do, what about, what if? No. If a man leaves his child, what about women who want, let's deal with one problem at a time. Let's deal with this problem, and then let's fix the next problem. But part of what this show is predicated on is if you bring up a problem, you have to bring up a solution. Other than that, all we're doing is taking turns bitching about something. So with the post about females, Seven, because, and what I tell you, I watch your post. I even comment on some of the show. You use the word woman as well because you respect women. But if we don't know, if we ask them and they tell us it's a problem, then as strong male leaders, it's up to us to correct the issue. If we find out that a woman doesn't want to be called female, if we find out that women don't generically like being called queen anymore, even though we mean well, what should the appropriate response be? To adapt and adjust, because winning is what it's all about. Winning and coming together. So don't take this personally. This is just an example. I see you Seven, I'll be like, yo, what's up, Light Bright? You be like, yo, I don't like that. Yo, man, I ain't mean no harm. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Come on, Light Bright. He's like, yo, I don't like that. What's disrespect about it? It ain't your name. It ain't your name. So if you say you want to be called Seven, then it's my job to call you Seven, unless I intentionally mean to disrespect you. because you don't want to be called light bright. Now, if that's your nickname and you cool with it, that's fine. But if you tell me you're not, then what is the appropriate response? To respect your wishes, that if I want to converse with you on a friendly level, not to do something that's going to hinder that. And I think that's where we, as black men, lose a lot. I'm going to tag you on the letter. Did you hear the letter I read to Bryce? If not, I'm going to tag you on it because I want your thoughts on that. About the father who talked to his son who wanted to fight because a kid bumped into him at school. Suppose the kid you bumped into, suppose you want to fight him because you feel disrespected. So what happens if he stabs you? What happens if he shoots you? What happens if you mess around and kill him? You lose your whole life over feeling disrespected. So this is where we have to do much more work. This is where, in my mind, the men have to step up. We have to stop waiting for the women. We have to stop blaming the women. If you don't like it, fix it. If you don't like it, fix it. But don't just keep blaming. I don't like the music they play on the radio. Guess what I do? I got my own CDs. I got a, what do you call that thing? An MP3 thing. I can play my own music. I don't have to listen to anything I don't want to. But that's what we do. That's what we do. And that's what we got to stop doing. You want to be respected, but you don't want to respect me. I see that a lot going on with us. And if we're dealing with women who exude that same energy, then why are we still dealing with them? Now that's a choice. Now that's a choice. So I choose drama. I choose disrespect. I can't be mad at the results, which is what a lot of people do. If you know that I have no respect for you, Seven, then why are you still dealing with me? Because you're going to make me change my mind? Were you around when I asked the question? Do you know, are you still with me, Seven? Give me a thumbs up or something. Do you know anybody who has been beaten into respect? Do you know anybody who lost the fight and said, yo, man, I respect that dude. He beat me good. Hey, that man's at the top of my respect list from now on. But why are we willing to fight for respect when fighting ain't going to get it for us? Fighting ain't going to make nobody respect us. Whether we win, lose, or not, the respect ain't coming from a fight. But again, sticks and stones, sticks and stones. Did you see the Shannon apology? Well, he apologized in totality. He didn't blame it on nothing else. He didn't say nothing about, oh, well, he disrespected me, that caused this. Shannon took full accountability and responsibility. That's something that most of us won't do. We're like, oh yeah, it was my fault, but, oh yeah, well, I did this, but, well, if she wouldn't have did this, I wouldn't have did that. So that means somebody control you, don't it? If all your responses are in response to something I do, then that means you have no control over you. You waiting on me to do something so you can do something. So how strong can we be if we don't have our own mind? See, where you said something and I let you know how I felt about it. We continue our conversation. I even invite you to come on the show so we could talk because I know that you're a smart black man. I know this. I want to promote smart black men. We don't all have to think alike. We need to have multi options to get to the top. You strike me as one of those people. Come on the show, let's talk, let's debate. Let's find something where we got different views and let's show the people there's nobody who has the absolute correct way. Everybody got to do what works for them. And the best way to find something that works for you is to have multiple options. And to me, that's the only way we're going to do that's the only way we're going to get done. So that when we're being strong male leaders, the women who may be weak or not have it all, they have somebody to come to. But why would they go to a man who exhibits disrespectful tendencies? Why would they go to the man who wants to tell everybody he's an alpha? Treat me as such. Respect me while I disrespect you. And that's all I'm saying. If you know better, you do better. But you can't let everything be about you, or you can't even let everything be about your circle. When I post, I want to talk to all the people who follow the page so I can get different views, so I can see what's what. I know it's in my circle, but that don't mean my circle is right about everything because we tend to hang around like minds. Therefore, you don't get the full view of what the world is or what Georgia is or Indiana because you ain't talking to them. people in the hood don't think the same way as people in the suburbs do on certain things. It's like I saw a post that said, when a man lives in the ghetto and he thinks he ain't gonna get nowhere, he can fulfill his own. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. He's told himself he ain't gonna never be nothing. So when it happens, he's good. But some people want something, which means they run the risk of failure. They also run the risk of succeeding. Which one scares you most? So a lot of us stick with failure because we're afraid to succeed, because then what happens? I gotta change my lifestyle. Then I'm gonna get to hang around my bum friends. Then everybody's gonna expect me to be better. Am I prepared for that? Whereas a lot of people, they scared of failure. You know, we look at athletes. I don't know if you're a coach. The athlete who hates losing is more competitive than the athlete who loves winning. And it took me a minute to realize that with some of the people when I was playing sports. There were some people who hated with a passion to lose. That's emotion. And as we talk about who's more emotional, because we make it a bad thing, emotions are a good thing because they can spark your fire. They can push you further, make you jump a little bit higher. But we make emotion seem like it's just about crying. Are women more emotional when it comes to crying? Probably. But are they more emotional than men? I would say not, simply because men love to fight. Fighting is an emotional response to something. We are head and shoulders above everybody else with that. That's just my work opinion. And you know, that's how I feel about that. So it's 7:38. I gotta get ready to do my last part, because on this show, what we like to do, Seven, is I like to have a couple of topics, but I love to end on a positive note, because people always talk about what social media doesn't have. And we don't see a lot of positivity because we don't look for a lot of positivity, because positivity a lot of times does not breed likes, it doesn't breed conversation. But this is a manifestation. We can promote a lot of great things. We don't have to follow the algorithms. We don't have to follow the latest trendy, whatever. We can post whatever we want to. We can create our own positive news without being arrogant or cocky. That's what we can do. So it's 7:30. So 7:40. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about the youngest judge, just to let people know there's lots of positivity out there. It ain't hard to find. So we'll be right back.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Brian, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Follow the Black College Sports Network and all of our shows on YouTube. You can find us at MyJBN Online and on all social media at MyBCSN1.
Maureen is saving big holiday shopping at Amazon, so now she's free to become Maureen, the merrier. Food is her love language, and she really loves her grandson. Like, really loves.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him.
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty.
All right, as we finish the last section of the show, I want to tell you guys about Hannah Johnson at 27. He is the youngest district judge in the state of Pennsylvania. And what's so special about him is that he is not the chosen one. He came from a place that most of us come from. He is a testament that nothing holds us back but ourselves. If you want something and you are willing to work for it, not these words of affirmation, I ain't knocking them, but if you want to be something, it requires more than you just saying it. What's going on, Ari? It requires putting in the work. It requires putting in the blood, sweat, and tears to get what you want. It's easy to sit back and say why we don't have something. It's easy to sit back and succumb to the pressures. It's easy to give up your accountability and responsibility and keep saying why you can't. But we're going to play a video about the youngest district judge in Pennsylvania, 27-year-old Hannah Johnson. Give them something to look at, super producer. Oh, maybe she ain't ready yet. We're going to wait till she ready. We're going to keep rolling until it play. Let me go back to my quick little cheat sheet. But Hannah Johnson put together his own campaign. Hannah Johnson was a criminal. He was a criminal. That's what made him change his ways. He had a little Judge Mathis in him. All right, so here we go. Let's play the video.
Pennsylvania when he got to the bench. How about that? You know how old he was? He was 27. 27
years old. And you know what? It was actually his personal encounters with the law that taught him that he needed to step up and step in to bridge the gap.
I've been arrested 3 times, so a lot of the times I felt like I wasn't given a fair opportunity. A lot of times when I was looking over at someone, it was someone that didn't look like me. They weren't from my area. They didn't understand what happens in my area. So it was like I felt like it was like an unfair perspective in a sense.
That short time behind bars was enough to set Hanif Johnson on a path to become the youngest judge in Pennsylvania by the age of 27. Years of being falsely accused showed him the need for someone like him to take the bench.
I think to a lot of people, they looked and said, oh, this guy's too young. And then those who said that I was too young, I made sure that I came back and I had a conversation with them about 4 or 5 times. And then on that, 4th or 5th time, they was able to see, okay, this guy, knows some things. Because I can go into a job, someone can be there for 20 years, they can be 30 years older than me, but that doesn't necessarily that they know more than me.
A self-described hyperactive child, always full of energy and always eager to learn, Johnson credits a large portion of his success to his connection with his community.
I was in a position where I was blessed and I was able to accomplish things. So when I see, little kids that look like me, it just motivates me a lot. To just see them and it's like, no, like come with me, like you need to do good. I check on them. It's times where I see kids running around in my neighborhood or even walking around. I always put them to the side, what are you doing? Which is a old school mentality. You're doing something wrong, I'm gonna say something to you. Then I might tell your parents on you too.
Outside of the courthouse, Johnson, a star athlete in high school and college, splits his free time between his 2 loves, his family and track.
I have a guy that's he better win a state championship. He broke my school record, I coached him. So that was neat. I have 2 beautiful kids. I have a daughter, she's 3, and a son that's 1. And I even let them come in here sometimes. My daughter loves coming here. Daddy, can I go to your job with you just a little bit?
Judge Johnson is a young man who believes the sky is the limit, not just for himself, but for all of those he comes in contact with.
I just tell him all the time, don't let nobody tell you can't do something. And even when you have that little kid that say, I want to be in the NBA, or I want to be in the NFL, or I want to be a rapper, I always ask them, well, what are you doing to do that? Are you taking extra shots? Are you studying film? Are you writing anything? So I just, encourage them. Because you never know. You never know.
Bam. So how can we sit back and say what we cannot do? How can we sit back and say there is no positive news? How can we sit back and say there is nothing that they're holding us back from? If you want it, you have to put in the work. If you want it, you have to put in the work. I'm not a fan of just simply saying stuff. Oh, say it, make it. Do it, do it, do it. Saying it is cute. It's cute. You can say you're gonna be a tree all your life. It ain't gonna happen. And this is why we have to stop making excuses, because they're so ready. They give us a reason to not want to step up. And even in the video, 7, did you notice the man who he was hugging and kissing? No, we're just a mother. And we look at Obama, just a mother. So I can't keep going for it's that we have a bunch of weak feminine leadership. We have a bunch of men who are willing to tear that down, in my opinion. But that's one of the things that we can discuss. But if we put forth a good work ethic, if we teach them a good work ethic, when they see this from us, they adopt these principles and tendencies and traits. This is something that we can show them, as opposed to always trying to hustle or sneak a dollar in. Sometimes it's just hard work. It's just hard work. It's studying. I had a conversation with a lady at work who wanted to accost me about some things she heard. And I say, listen, before we start this conversation, understand, I'm probably one of the best read black men you will ever meet. And then she started giving me a bunch of BS. And I was like, that's not true. How do you, just because you say that, you can look it up. These are factual things. There's court documents on this. There's this. But, I didn't know that. You don't read. You listen to these crap stations, but you want to criticize me because you think I'm a CNN listener. I watch CNN. I watch MSNBC. I watch Fox. I watch headline news. I like to verify facts. I love to read. If I see something, I want to check on it to make sure it's true before I spout it. Whether I like it or not does not change the truthfulness of it. And this is something that we have to stop doing. There are tons of things. I don't like the female thing. That is me. That is me not liking it. I feel when people do this, I feel a certain way. I can't say that's how most men feel. Hell, I can't even say that's how most women feel. Me and my producer talked about it earlier. She doesn't feel the same way about it. It's more about intent and her whole listening to the thing, which is basically what I said, because I was talking to somebody and I heard it and I don't want to talk to them no more. But these are the things we have to be willing to work to put in the effort. We have to be willing to work and take accountability and responsibility for our decisions, not try to justify them by saying that's what other people do. Because what your grandmama say, if everybody jump off the bridge or you jumping, you are responsible for your own actions, nobody else. This man saw a need. He went to school for it. He worked on it. And what did he say? He gives back. As a judge, he is mentoring another track star to break his record. That is super effing selfless. That is super selfless. He has 2 kids, but he is still taking time out from being a father to help another man be great at track. What's his motivation? Who gave him that? But he's working with him. He ain't just telling him he's going to be better. He ain't just telling them. We got to stop thinking that words are the answer to everything. Actions are the answer. Know better, do better. I love reaching out to people who I've never met. Most of y'all. All right, 7. Yeah, technically I ain't even met my producer. But guess what? They all been invited to the show because they provided me with something to think about. And once you could provide me with a thought that I never thought about, I want to talk. Bobby Wilson, welcome to the show. That's my dude. I be trying to get him to come to the show. You're right. Superman should be black and not gay, but that's a whole other subject. We are a nation of millions. The judge will sit in the most racist seat in history. We can as black men with our sons, unless we give our sons a boost and stop worrying about moms. We're not clones. We are men who have been labeled by the world as inferior. And unfortunately, sometimes we earn that. Sometimes we earn that label by wanting to fight. Bobby, look at the post on my page. Look at the letter, and I think you made a comment on it about it. Dear Bryce, look at that. But that's why we're labeled as inferior. That's why we're labeled as violent. Because when we meet with disrespect, that's what we want to do. As opposed to trying to figure out how to be better than the situation. Not stronger. Better. Better. Meet disrespect with restraint. You can't beat nobody into respecting you. That has never worked. It's never worked. Probably never will. But unfortunately, as we suffer from PTSD, post-traumatic slave disorder, it's one of those things that we keep perpetuating. We keep thinking we got to fight to take what's ours. We just need to be smarter. We need to put in the work. We need to boost each other up instead of trying to tear each other down. When a man makes mistakes, let's show them another way. Maybe they don't know another way. When I use a scenario, Bobby bumps into me and doesn't say, excuse me, I want to fight him. Maybe Bob had something on his mind. Maybe Bobby was in the midst of trying to find his son. Maybe Bobby's just preoccupied. But because he bumped into me, I felt disrespect. So now I'm willing to fight Bobby. So what happens if I hit Bobby and he hit his head and he died? What happens if Bobby happens to have a knife or a gun and he stabbed me or shoot me because I hit him? The law is going to say I am the aggressor because I started the fight. Somebody bumping into you is not a reason to fight. But it's a reason me feel disrespected and I need to defend myself. Somebody told me, oh, the reason black men fight is because they got to defend their honor, defend their property, and defend this. Defend it from what? Somebody talking? Do y'all know anybody, Bobby, 7, Mel, do y'all know anybody who died from somebody calling them a bitch or stupid? Do y'all know anybody who died because they got called nigga? Do y'all know anybody who died because somebody disrespected them? But we will push this narrative like it truly means something. People don't die from that. People don't die from that. But what will happen, in contrast, people will lose their freedom. People will lose their lives over feeling disrespected because their first response is violence. When did we adopt meeting words with violence? Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me unless a black man say them. I'm trying to figure it out. When did this happen? When did we start letting words hurt us more than sticks and stones? If a man hits me, yes, I will hit him back. What did Malcolm X say? If he stab you, shoot him. Step up one level higher. But disrespect is what we're willing to go to jail for. And this is what we blame the white man for. And, you know, I always talk about post-traumatic slave disorder as a mental condition. Because most of us ain't seen slavery. We don't know nothing about it. We talk about it as a means to justify our crazy behavioral patterns. Is there systemic/systematic racism? Absolutely. Does that mean that by responding with violence is going to make it better? Absolutely not. The young man I just showed you, Judge Johnson, not Brother Hanif, Judge Johnson overcame everything he had to get to his point. He got there. He got there. So now he can do some good in his community. He can sit there and be a judge and be a light for us as he shines. But we got to promote him. So we don't have to talk about Trump. We don't have to talk about Clinton. We don't have to talk about Biden. We can talk about Judge Johnson. We can talk about Judge Mathis. We can talk about damn, what's my little judge, my crush judge? What's the judge who just lost her husband? Man, I got a picture with her too. Who used to do divorce court? We got all these black role models that we can speak on and speak of. if we just want to promote positivity. It's a choice, ladies and gentlemen. It's a choice. My mother went out of her way to make sure that I had a black doctor to go to. She wanted me to see that. She wanted me to experience that, to know that it is out there. You just got to want it. And you got to be willing to put in the work. You can't just say it. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to be a football player. Oh, I'm going to be the greatest football player ever. You got to put in work to get that. You got to put in work to get that accomplished. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's 7:56. I lied and said I was going to be out early, so I'm going to get my last little sip of the blue. Okay, maybe it's too much for a sip. I want to thank y'all for joining me. 7, I'm going to hit you up. Bobby, stop playing with me, Bobby. Stop teasing me. When you coming on the show, brother? When you coming to the show? 7, we're going to work on something. Next month, maybe? Mel, I ain't going to let you slide. You're going to keep giving me excuses. Ari, I'm waiting for y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right? Y'all know this. Peace, popcorn, and chicken grease, and we out.